Go.
Okay, so my name is Michael Kroll with my company called The Sales Effect. And as I mentioned in my previous videos, what I'm trying to do is bring some of the advice that I have for people that are getting into the industry of sales or who want to learn more about sales, as well as the fact that I just love doing this and it's a part of me reaching as many people as I can. So we've had a lot of fun so far doing this. I've done a couple videos already, so if you haven't seen those, check it out. First video gave a lot about me and who I am and what my company is about. The second one talking about how to stand out in a crowd or be memorable, as well as finding what your always is. And now, as I promised, what I want to do is start bringing some of the people that I've met in the industry, either through networking or people that I do business with, and people that I've known in the industry of sales who I consider to be professional salespeople, not the traditional peddler salesperson. And today we're going to be speaking with Tim Mushey, and Tim stood out in the crowd to me. He exuded that thing that I was talking about, being memorable and being remarkable. And the way that he did it was he connected with me through LinkedIn, and he didn't just send me a traditional, I'd like to connect with you, standard message that the system regurgitates out for you. He actually put a very personalized message in there. And then through that, I took a look at him and saw that he did a lot of blogging. He did a lot of comments on other sales people that I know of on their websites and on their blogs, and he's just very active. And so I thought to myself, I got to meet this guy. And we met, we had a coffee, and we found out that we share a lot of the same philosophies. So today I want to talk to him about a few things, and so with that being said, today we're here with Tim. So Tim, thanks so much for coming.
My pleasure.
Yeah, so today, Tim, for the benefit of people, again, who are coming into sales and learning about sales, we wanted to talk to you about really kind of three things. And the first thing is when you think about sales, or you got into sales, I mean, how did you first get into sales? I think that's the best question to start with. How did you get into it?
Well, I just returned from a trip to Australia, and I was starting a new job search. Had a marketing degree, a business degree with a marketing specialty, and I said, you know what, I can probably take some of those skills from marketing and start sort of dabbling in sales. So what I did is I started, focusing my search on a sales career, and basically I landed my first role towards the end of 1999, and basically here we are, all these years later, and I'm still in sales.
So when you look back at 1999, and now we're in 2011, going on to quickly 2012 here pretty soon. What's some of the big things that's changed for you in the industry as being a professional in sales? Like when you first got into it, what was your training like? What did you, versus now if you were to go into another company, what's the training like there?
I've been with a few different companies now over the years, and training is just very specific to each of the companies I've been with. I think a lot of the companies focus on product training only. I've seen a bit of the sales training, specific to the sales cycle, and obviously product is always a key as well. But a lot of it was kind of self-taught. Get into the field, get out there, get to know your customers, start to implement your own systems and strategies, and just basically learn as you go.
Mm-hmm. So through that, almost like Darwinism in a sense that you were able to survive. I know a lot of guys that just weren't able to. That's part of the reason I even started my company. But through that learning to survive mode of sales, what's been, like if you're looking at sales now, and like what's fundamentally the way you view sales? Like, you'd mentioned it was about products or product training. Do you still focus on product and product training, or where have you found success and how you've been able to do well?
Product training and sales training are obviously always going to be important in the whole scope of a sales role, but it's building quality relationships. It's being there for your customer whenever they need you. They know that you know the product, and they know that you know how to sell the product, but it's building that relationship, finding out the needs that they have, and supplying products and services for them. So those things are paramount, and product knowledge and sales skills will certainly develop over time as well.
So I'm curious, I mentioned how you reached out to me. Obviously now we're 2011 and we're using things like LinkedIn and those types of things, and you had taken the time to write me a real personal message. Right. That and it wasn't to do about business or anything. It was just for whatever reason you found me and you wanted to connect with me and start building that relationship, and now look where it's led. We're on YouTube now.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, how do you use that? Is that something that you're using consistently? Is that working for you, or I'm just curious?
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, if I look at starting my sales career in 1999 and the tools that were available then and the tools available today in terms of social media, specifically for business, LinkedIn, it's a great tool to network with. It's also a great tool for learning and enhancing what you already know about the career. That there's so many discussion groups out there that you can not only view the current content, but also participate in the content and be part of the conversation. So more often than not, people are out there to help each other. And of course, let's be honest, I mean, some business leads and other networking can come out of it. So it's just an incredible tool.
Excellent, excellent. So, last thing is, Tim, is, I'm always looking to give practical advice to people out there. What's some of the, things that stand in your mind, some practical advice that you can share for anybody that's looking to get into sales, or they're in sales, or, they're just trying to get better?
I think the biggest thing is patience. When I first started my career, I expected everything to happen overnight. But you really have to take a deep breath and let processes play out as they may. The other thing specific to new people and anybody in sales for that matter is always be in what I call learning mode. We talked about the product training, the sales training, but managers, executives within your own organization, colleagues, your inside sales team, your customers, there's so many people you can learn from. One thing I was guilty of for years is I never bought one book, read one blog, bought one audio series or anything, but there is so much of that available, and a lot of that you can just do in your car, driving between calls or driving on a long out-of-town trip. So don't ever be afraid to learn. You can go learn some new stuff every day, and some of your greatest resources might be right in your own office, and there's a reason why people are successful and others aren't as successful, for sure.
Excellent. Just before we go, Tim, I know that you're, obviously you're very passionate about this thing we call sales and teaching and learning and all those great things. Are you going to be, you're going to be doing a blog here pretty soon?
I am,
just talking about, so super. You don't happen to know, do you have the website done out yet? Or?
I don't yet, but I mean, obviously I'm on LinkedIn.
Okay, perfect.
Tim, last name Mushey.
Excellent.
I'm also on Twitter at TimMushey73.
Okay, perfect. And I'll make sure I put that on the description notes for all of you out there in case you didn't get it. And my intent here is to make a series of this, and today was the first of many. I'm going to definitely have Tim back, and we'll talk about maybe some more specific things on some of the hurdles that one goes through in sales. But Tim, a real pleasure to have. I'm so glad that you reached out to me, and thank you for coming on today. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
All right, thank you. Thanks.